What if everything you've been told about fruits and vegetables was a complete lie? What if your ultimate, most successful self-care routine is eating steak and eggs? No, I'm serious. Could you do it? Let's go. Brand new year, brand new show. Hi, I'm Nina Daniels, and welcome to Models Diet Podcast, where we dive into the world of the craziest self-care hacks, fitness routines, and luxury wellness experiences. Ever wondered if bathing in red wine really makes your skin glow? Or if running marathons in stilettos is a thing? If so, you're in the right place. We're taking Treat Yourself to a whole new level. So grab your green juice, oversized mug or butter coffee, and let's get real about self-care routines that are equal parts fabulous and ridiculous. Make sure you subscribe to Apple or Spotify and join me on my new YouTube channel. New year, new you. Okay, on today's episode, we will be discussing whether or not the infamous carnivore diet is going to be good for you, or is it just another fad diet that needs to disappear just like Drake's career? Oh, did I say that? So stick around to the end of this episode so you can find out whether we are going to model the carnivore diet or bottle it to the end of eternity. So if you're watching YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because you know what? You want to make sure you get the verdict. And if you're listening on Apple and Spotify, just go ahead and follow us and check in to the end of the episode, and we will let you know what we think. The carnivore craze, meet your best life. I mean, or is it a health disaster? We're going to find out. Picture this: steak, bacon, burgers, but absolutely no veggies, no fruits, no grains. What if you could never eat a salad again? I mean, today we are going to dive deep into the carnivore diet. And you know what? Everybody's talking about it. It's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere you look. The carnivore diet is prevalent. Podcasts from the White House all the way to the corner store. People are really invested in the carnivore. Homie, whoever would have thought there'd be a world where we would be talking about veggies not being good for you, or veggies being absent from your diet? Because as little kids, what are we taught? You better eat your vegetables, you better eat your broccoli, you better eat your peas. And now there is this diet out there, this way of living that does not consist of veggies, seeds, herbs. I know it sounds insane, but is it though? But before we get deeper into the carnivore diet, let me just talk to you about my week. It has been a really, really crazy time. And not bad though, because I just finished a 10-day juice cleanse. I know, 10 days. 7 of those days I did the master cleanse. And for those who do not know, the master cleanse is just lemon juice from real lemons, not from, some bottle. Maple syrup, cayenne pepper, and that's, let's see, maple syrup, cayenne pepper, lemon juice, and water. How could I forget water, right? So that is what the master cleanse is. I did that for 7 days. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, TMI, because I'm about to get a little gross. The master cleanse is my favorite juice cleanse, and I've done them all. Pressed juicery, celery, all sorts of different juice cleanses. But I like the simplicity of the master cleanse. It's super easy. Um, yes, it's inexpensive, but it's just really, really good. The only thing I do not like about the master cleanse is at night you have to take a laxative like Smooth Move. And in the morning, you have to drink 32 ounces of water with salt. I think 2 teaspoons of salt in your 32 ounces of water. And oh, well, I say gag. I just want to vomit every time I drink that water down. It is so gross. I mean, if they didn't have the saltwater flush, and that's what it's called, the saltwater flush, if that was not part of the master cleanse, it would be a breeze. But it is. And it's the worst part. So you drink 32 ounces of water. Get that down. Then, in about an hour, you better be near a bathroom because literally you're going to explode. When I say everything, including your soul, comes out of your body into that toilet, yes. I mean, it is a cleansing from the gods. And you have to do that for every morning. Drink the smooth move at night and drink the saltwater flush every single morning. And that's the hardest part of that. So I did that for 7 days. And then I did a 3-day water cleanse subsequently after that. Whew. I think we need to do an episode on not just juice cleansing, but the water cleanse. One, I did not do it to lose weight. Please don't do diets to lose weight, at least not juice cleanses, because you're going to gain it right back. The purpose of a juice cleanse is really to, at least for me, is to clear my mind so that I can get ready to actually eat cleaner, work out harder, focus. The purpose of my water cleanse, for those who have been following and for those who do not know, I was told by my doctor, and please, when you do these things, I am not a doctor. Don't follow what I'm saying. Please go and consult your doctor and make sure that it's something that's good for you. But my doctor told me, hey, you need to do a 3-day water cleanse. It's going to help with your inflammatory issues because I have autoimmune issues and they're inflammatory. I have a lot of inflammation in my body. So they told me, okay, if you do a 3-day water cleanse, it will ease the inflammation. And yes, it is exactly how it sounds. You are drinking just water. You drink half your body weight in water. And that's all you drink all day. I also threw some minerals in there as well to help me. The water cleanse does not include a saltwater flush, although it should, because I have to tell you, for 3 days, even though I added minerals, I was constipated, completely backed up, could not move a thing. And it sucked. And I think that's why I really struggled through my 3-day water cleanse. I'm not going to lie. I struggled because, one, my body is not adapted yet to cleansing. Yes, when I was, working out, living in LA, was super fit, I cleansed 4 times a year, but my body was prepared for that. My body was ready. I set it up for success. Doing it from this inflamed body was hella hard. And it would not have been as bad if I had been able to poop. And 2, I needed to move my you know what. So anybody who's done a water cleanse, please give me any tips you have about how the next water cleanse can go better, because I am going to do it again. I felt like the water cleanse was like a spiritual experience. Took everything out of your girl, and it really taught me about my relationship with food, which a juice cleanse or any kind of cleanse normally does when you're not eating food. But I noticed I would go to Starbucks just for fun. Like if I see a Starbucks, oh, let me go in there. And I can't tell you that even though I was cleansing and even though I wasn't hungry, I felt a little nudge, like, oh, let me go to Starbucks right now. Let me go pull in. And I'm like, for what? You're not even hungry. And I really, by the end of the first day, I didn't even want any food at all. I barely want to drink water, but it's like this nudge. It's like it's inside of you, and even though you don't act on it, you're like, oh, you really want to snack and do other things. It's not just my inflammation, I realize. It's also how I was eating. And like I said, I really had to say, oh my goodness, I'm learning so much about my habits. I'm a snacker. I like to eat little meals along the day, keep eating. I like to eat at night. So these are all the things. My husband sat next to me on the sofa, that wonderful guy. He goes to me, oh man, I want a little snack. And I go, no, I don't want one. I'm good. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Even though in my brain at first I wanted to be like, yeah, get me one too. But I was like, no, I don't need that. Why do I want a snack? I never ate after 7 when I lived in LA. I don't even know why I wanted a snack. It was just like a habit. So you learn about your habits, and you learn that if you just track and follow your habits, you will see that you probably are consuming way more calories than you even thought. So the one thing I want to talk about too is that while I was doing this juice cleanse, I did an ease in and an ease out. Today is actually the last day of my ease out. And hear me, People will say juice cleanses, and I know this is an episode not about a juice cleanse, but I just want to get this out of the way because this is what I'm doing and experiencing right now. Everybody will tell you that a juice cleanse is so bad. Is that true? Yes and no. And you know what? We're definitely going to do an episode on this because I really want to be able to elaborate on a lot of these things. And right now, I'm just giving you a brief, overview. But a juice cleanse is good if you do it right. And it's terrible, horrible, will wreck your body if you do it wrong. I spent 3 days easing into the master cleanse. It took me 5 days to ease out of the water diet. 5 days. Half of the time that I spent my entire cleansing period, it took me 5 days to ease out. And the reason being is, one, you want to maintain your gains. And I have to tell you, my body feels so good. The inflammation, which people know, I couldn't even lift my arm. The inflammation went down so much. I love the results so much. I am going to torture myself again and do it again. But this time, I am going to go into a new way of eating, and I will talk to you all about it at the end of the podcast. I'll let you know what I'm going to be doing next. But I'm super excited and proud of myself that I was able to ease into the fast slowly and ease out of the fast with no problem. And, guys, we're going to do another episode on, juicing and easing in and easing out. And let me know, leave me a message in the comments. Let me know if that's something you really want to know more about. If you want to learn more about easing into a juice cleanse or water fast and easing out, please hit us up so we know what to give you next. So let's talk about it. What is the carnivore diet? We've been dancing around this whole episode, kind of like, tiptoeing on it. But what is it? How about we just start with the basics? The carnivore diet is literally as simple as it sounds. It's about going back to like the caveman, the cavewoman era days, where how did we eat when we were in the Stone Ages? We went out and we killed animals, we ate their meat. Some people would eat like fruit when they could find it that wasn't poisonous. And for the most part, the carnivore diet is just what it is. It is eating all animal meat, animal products. So unlike paleo, fruit is not technically on the carnivore diet, although you will see people like Dr. Paul Saladino, who has reincorporated fruit back into his diet. So is a range. There's a range on the carnivore diet. And this is why I really want to do this episode too. I get so tired of people who are hardcore carnivore people who are like, if you eat that, that's not truly carnivore. And my problem with that is not everybody can jump in from like A to Z, jump into this extreme, drastic diet. Is the carnivore diet, yes, you can be strict, but it's like any other way of eating. You also might be someone who needs a range. And that's why I'm here, to share with you and let you know that there is a range in the carnivore diet, and you have to find what aspect of this diet fits for you. And if they say you're not doing carnivore or you're not a real OG, so what? Call it whatever you want. Animal-based, Tom, Dick, and Harry's diet, who cares? It is what you make it. It is what works for you. Because at the end of the day, all of these are about what works for you. But I'm going to give you the most strict to the loose. So strict carnivore is meat, salt, water. And some people only eat beef. Some people do not even consider other forms of meat carnivore. Now, that's super strict. We'll say regular carnivore. Regular carnivore means you can eat meat, fish, eggs, animal products, pork rinds, that's right, pork rinds, raw dairy. Now, some people do eat, butter technically is carnivore, heavy cream is carnivore, cheese is carnivore, but here's the thing. You really want to be careful about incorporating dairy into your carnivore diet because I'm going to keep it real. It might make you gain weight. And also, if you are lactose intolerant, if you don't just get dairy products from a farm, like raw dairy, like if you're every state is different. So like California, you can go to the supermarket and you can get raw cow's milk right in the market. You cannot do that in other states. So check your state, because some states, like the state of Maryland, you can only have raw milk for pets. So it's pet, it is labeled pet milk. So make sure you check your state's requirements as to what raw dairy you are allowed to consume. I believe raw butter is probably you're able to consume anywhere, if I'm not mistaken. Raw heavy cream, you can turn raw milk into kefir. You can turn heavy cream into cream cheese. You can turn, I think, raw milk into yogurt. So there's a huge span of what you can do with raw milk, which is why I think raw milk is great. When I lived in California, I drank raw milk all the time, especially in New York as well, because you can consume raw milk legally in those areas. And they were great because you could literally, like, it never went bad. If your raw milk goes bad, guess what? You turn it into something else. You turn it into sour cream. You turn it into kefir. You can turn your milk, like, literally, raw milk could have a lifespan, a lifespan. Butter, you can make raw butter out of milk. So I personally am lactose intolerant. I cannot eat regular dairy from the grocery store. So I make runs for my raw butter, raw cream. I have a couple of farms that deliver to my area. I order from them, and for me, I do incorporate raw dairy into my diet because that's what makes me feel good. But there are some things that you absolutely, on any aspect of the carnivore diet, cannot have, and that is veggies, grains, nuts. You can never, ever, ever have those. Now, fruits, like I said, I know some people, like Dr. Paul Saladino used to be a hardcore carnivore person, and now he is incorporating fruit. And technically, fruit is still carnivore because it comes from the earth. You know, it is the fruit of a flower, the part of the flower that it has been said that that's the part you're supposed to eat, the fruit, not the veggies. Why shouldn't you eat the veggies? Because the veggies put off some kind of toxin that's, to fight off predators, and that so that nobody will eat them. That's why they say veggies are really hard to digest, maybe why you should get them organic, why you have to clean them super well, why you see recalls on vegetables all the time. This is why. So I'm clear. No veggies, no salads. Nope, can't have it. Now, what's the idea behind it? So the carnivore diet is an extreme elimination diet, let's be clear. And by cutting everything out of your diet except for animal products, you supposedly reduce inflammation, improve gut health, and lose weight. I don't know if you guys have been checking out YouTube. I have seen those before and afters, and they are insane. Like, some people losing 100 pounds in like 9 months and 50 pounds in 4 or 5 months. I mean, like, craziness. And, it's pretty much the opposite of veganism. If you think steakhouse instead of salad bar, yeah, that's probably the best way to explain it. And I'm telling you, this is not some underground trend. Like, everybody knows celebs like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, whether you love them or not for their political stance, who cares? Right now, what I'm talking about is carnivore. Joe Rogan swears by the carnivore diet. I hear Elon Musk lost weight doing the carnivore diet. Joe Rogan has raved about saying it gave him insane clarity, energy. Jordan Peterson and his daughter, I know she only eats meat, and she had some wicked autoimmune issues that cured, or I don't say cured, but really helped her manage them. And for me, there are other carnivore gurus, I guess you want to call them, that I really love, like Steak and Butter Gal. This woman, I love her. I think that her approach to carnivore, I believe she had like really bad acne, really low energy, and her approach to carnivore is so like inspiring. It's like light. It's not like heavy. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Nobody wants to hear that. Hers is just like the way she looks, and I don't mean just physically because she's quite beautiful, but just the way her whole energy makes you say, wow, you know what? I want that energy. I want to feel like that. Who else? Dr. Anthony Chaffee, and also the super beautiful, super hot, I don't know if she's his wife yet or fiance, but they're a beautiful couple, hardcore carnivores, and they also have some really cool recipes, a separate Instagram page full of recipes. And I love that they have this because not everybody just wants to eat steak, salt, and water. I'm sorry. how long are you going to sustain on that? Not everybody has that kind of mentality to do it and stay on it. It's not a sustainable thing without having other things that make you happy incorporated into it. And yeah, me being happy about what I'm eating matters. It does. But if you're trying to fight something chronic, I would say try and be as strict as you can so that you are able to cure whatever it is or alleviate some of your symptoms. If you want to choose diet over meds, then that's your choice. And you may have to go strict for, a little while, but know that once you get to a place where you can expand on what you are on your diet, there are options. There are other options. And there are levels to this thing. There are levels. Another one is Dr. Robert Kiltz. He is a fertility specialist in New York. What I love about this doctor, he wants his patients to, if they are struggling with infertility, which I have in the past, if they are struggling with, like, if men have low sperm counts, or I don't even know, is that what it's called? Yeah, I think a low sperm count, or women who are struggling to ovulate, struggling to conceive, struggling for embryos to implant. He tries to tell you, he would say, go on the carnivore diet. He is a huge proponent of diet over meds. So some people will be controversial and say he's trying to push this diet on me. What he's saying is you can save yourselves a whole lot of money and skip coming to me and spending ridiculous amounts of money on IVF. You can go straight to just eating a diet that will help you get pregnant. So I never understand the comments where people are like, he told me this, he told me that. You mean he's trying to help you save money and do things naturally so your body can do it naturally, and you're mad and you're angry about that? Okay, guys, we have to make it make sense, okay? Oh, and Sean Baker, who is the godfather of the carnivore diet, and he claims that it's the ultimate hack for athletic performance. But at the end of the day, is it really worth the hype? I hope you guys sticking in here. Stay tuned, because we are really going to find out by the end of this episode. So let's break it down: the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here are the pros of the carnivore diet. Simplicity. No calorie counting. I will never do anything that requires me to count calories. I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to do it. Nope. Once they say pull out an app and I want you to map or keep track of your diet, no. Now, I might do it for a week or a couple of days just to get a feel of what I'm eating, but I'm not going to do that every single day. Yeah, it's just not, I'm not going to do it. But it's not about me, not about my judgment or about how I feel about it. If you, for the people who are like me and don't want to count calories, this is for you. No macros, just eat meat and call it a day. Weight loss and muscle building. Yes, I mean, come on, who doesn't want to lose weight and build muscle, which is fantastic. Mental clarity and steady energy. To me, fasting, dieting, juicing, I do it for the mental clarity, and so should you. I think the weight loss is a byproduct of you feeling amazing and being able to push your body to the limit. That is, you can't go from A to Z. And trust me, if you heard me on some of my other episodes, I've tried that and failed because of what I used to be able to do. This body is not the same body that ran Division I track. So I have to deal with where I am right now and deal with my body where it is right now. I have to meet it where it is. And you really have to do the same. And when you are, it's like cold plunging and doing contrast therapy, check out my episode on those. We'll link it right here. But it makes you feel unstoppable, like you are invincible and could do anything. And that's what I love about some of this biohacking that, I'm super into biohacking. I love biohacking. I mean, this podcast should probably be called the Queen of Biohacking, because I really believe in it, because it has helped me so much, especially contrast therapy. With everything that has pros, there are cons. So nutrient deficiencies: no fiber, no vitamins from fruits and veggies, which people will, take supplements for that. And that's definitely a drawback versus going and just, eating a salad. Long-term health risks. What about cholesterol and heart disease? Now, a lot of these gurus have done their labs prior, during their carnivore journey, and they claim that their labs are even better once they cut out veggies and fruit than before. Dr. Paul Saladino apparently said even with adding fruit, his labs have not changed. So, and nor has his like I'm not a keto person, but I know that people try to get into ketosis, and apparently he's saying that adding fruit to his diet did not kick him out of ketosis. But let's also know this guy does like surfing for hours on like a day, hours. So he might be burning off all the carbs in this fruit, where for him it may not kick him out of ketosis. Now the next person who's a couch potato, you may not be able to do the same thing. You just have to follow your body. And I definitely say check in with your doctor. If you're going to do any kind of extreme elimination diet, you need to make sure you see a doctor. And, and I'm not saying to scare you like, oh my God, you're going to hurt yourself, but it may be really good to get a feel as to where your labs are now and where it's going to be later, and to see if it's actually working for you. So, the carnivore diet has some strong advocates, strong. People are really, I feel like, moving in that direction. And some say like it's hard socially, but I disagree. I think that when I was a vegan, being a vegan was hard because you go to a restaurant and there were like so few vegan options, and people think that cheese is vegan. It's not. They think that eggs are vegan. They are not. They are not. But you typically can find some meat. You can find chicken. You can find steak. You can find eggs almost anywhere. So I disagree with the carnivore diet being hard socially. But if you are a hardcore and don't want, what do you call it, seed oils, like olive oil, avocado oil, then hopefully you're at a place you can ask someone, hey, can you just cook it with no oil, cook it in butter? Those are your options. But I think that, look, if you have to eat a steak with a little bit of seed oil one day because you're out, I mean, come on. It's probably 100 times better than what you were eating before. So I know it's time for some of the listeners' questions. I know you guys have questions. So you guys sent me some great stuff on Instagram, and I just want to run through them really quickly. And let's just get through the myths of the carnivore diet. 1, will I get scurvy if I skip fruits and veggies? First of all, I'm not sure what scurvy is. I had to look it up. But the answer is no. Animal products have vitamin C. It's just in a smaller amount. So, but long term, I don't know. That's a gamble, but I do not believe you will get scurvy from the carnivore diet, but ask a doctor about that one. Question 2, is it sustainable for women in hormonal health? Now, this one's tricky because some women really thrive on the carnivore diet and others struggle. There's a really good book by Dr. Mindy Peltz. I can't think of the name of it, but I think it's called like Fasting Like a Woman. I think that's what it's called. And she breaks it down for women, like when you're going through your cycle, what type of like fasting, and she's a proponent. I don't know if she's hardcore carnivore, but I do believe that, Fast Like a Girl. Thank you, Melissa. That's what it's called. Fast Like a Girl. I think it's a really great book. And she's a proponent of like high protein, low carb, cycling your fast depending on where you are in your cycle. If people are perimenopause, postmenopause, trying to get pregnant, every stage of our hormone cycle, I think that she has a really good book that you might want to check out. What about cholesterol and heart disease? The answer. So the jury's still out. Some people see improvements, others see skyrocketing cholesterol levels. So, like I said, you should go and see your doctor. But I honestly, for the people who post their numbers online, I have not seen anyone with skyrocketing cholesterol levels yet. Not saying that it's not out there, not saying it hasn't happened to people, but I have not just seen that with the gurus and the carnivore champions that I follow. I had not seen that. So a lot of people also pair join the carnivore diet with fasting. And I think it's a really great thing, like whether it be a 16-8, which is 16 hours, you do not eat 8 hours and you eat within an 8 hour window, or 20 hours you don't eat, you eat in a 4 hour window. And then some people do OMAD, you eat only once a day, one meal a day. So I've heard that people have gotten some really great results from doing that as well. If you guys want us to do an episode on fasting, let us know in the comments. Go ahead, and you know what? If we have enough interest, we will go ahead and do an episode on fasting. I think fasting is fascinating. Dr. Mindy Peltz is the queen, like Fast Like a Girl, that book. She is the queen of fasting. And I think it's a really good resource. And I think it's something to really look into because it's very popular that people put together fasting and carnivore. So we're getting down to the wire now. Model it or bottle it. What do you guys think about the carnivore diet? I mean, there's not really much to it. That's why, like, not gonna have this whole long episode because there's not much to just. It's just like eat meat, eat animal products. That's it. I mean, there's not much more. Reduce inflammation, gain energy. If that's something, I know people who are fighting autoimmune issues and inflammation. I've heard this is amazing for them. So let's see, it's that time. Are we going to model it or are we going to bottle it? Here's how it works. I'll throw out some scenarios and we'll decide if the carnivore diet is a fab or a flop. Scenario 1, athletes. Go ahead and hit me down in the comments. What do you think? I say, this is my thoughts, that athletes should model it. And especially for the short term, because I think it's really great for building muscle. I think it's really great for performance. And we all know that athletes don't have a normal job. So for an athlete, I do say model it. What do you think? Scenario 2, busy moms. The jury is split on this one, and I really want to hear what you guys think because some people say moms are too busy. They say bottle it for moms. They say moms are too busy. It's too restrictive and hard to maintain, but I disagree. You only have a couple of things you can eat. So therefore, for a mom, I think it might be great because she'll eat what she needs to eat and keep on pushing through the day. She don't have to think about, oh, I got to think about the kids. I got to do lunches. I got to do pickups. I got to do drop-off. I got to do after school extracurricular activity. No. All she can say is, you know what? Let me eat these. This is like simple. It's a simple way of eating. I'm going to eat what I need to eat. I don't have to think about it. I'm going to put energy into what I need to eat for that day. And that is it. So, and then when you make food for your family, all you do for them is add some veggies and you add some carb starches. So all of you are eating the same thing, but you're just eliminating part of it for yourself and giving them other stuff. So that, I mean, come on, what a win. All right, scenario number 3. So, foodies. Okay, I have to agree with this one. If you're a foodie, just bottle it. Look, if you love variety, just bottle it. Life is too short for you to be sitting here skipping dessert. We already know a foodie's not skipping shit. So if you're a foodie, bottle it. It's done. Okay, so, little drum roll, please. Whatever drum is. We are going to say for the carnivore diet, for short-term goals, for chronic illness, for anti-inflammatory success, we are going to model the carnivore diet. But for long-term health and sustainability, unfortunately, we're going to have to bottle it. I just don't think that it is sustainable long-term. I think you can be really successful short-term. I think if your life depends on it, meaning me personally, if I had the choice between staying on a strict diet or taking meds, I would do the diet. I've done it before. Actually, the way I eat is not because I am vain and am chasing being skinny, although I used to be very thin. I really started this way of eating and self-care and biohacking because I was born, unfortunately, with a very weak immune system. And I am not a fan of meds. I know people want to do Ozempic and Wegovy. That is something that will be my last resort. I am not against it for certain people, but for me, I really want to see if I can tackle this thing by biohacking and doing it the natural way. That's just for me. And for people who are also advocates of trying to tackle things via either diet or fitness and biohacking, then subscribe, come back. This is a podcast for you. So now, remember before I told you, major announcement, I was going to tell you once I finish my juice fast and my ease out, which is my last days today, what diet I was going to be going into. And yeah, you've guessed it, the carnivore diet. My doctor is insistent that I go on the carnivore diet. And I have, if you've listened to my podcast before, I have played with the carnivore diet here and there, but I'll be honest with you, mentally, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get my mind right about just eating meat. I just could not put myself in it. But I have to tell you, once I did this juice cleanse, when I tell you my mind snapped right back into place to the place where I used to be, where I could handle these things mentally. I'm so happy I did that juice cleanse and that water cleanse. It set me up so nicely. I have not had coffee. I have been to coffee shops. I have been able to just reject everything that I do not want in my body or my life. And I'm so proud. So I'm going to give it a shot, a real shot, a super real shot. And you can follow me on Instagram at Vanina Daniels. I'm going to be tracking and posting about my journey every single day on the carnivore diet. Pray for me. So follow my day today, like I said, on my IG at Vanina Daniels, and catch the big updates. I'll have the big updates on YouTube. But let's see if I can meet the challenge. No pun intended. Not a pun was totally intended. All right. I love you guys. So, and that about wraps it up for us. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. Please, we want to hear from you. Would you do the carnivore diet? And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, it would really help us if you rate and review us. And please share with your wellness squad. We love you. Until next time, G-String Unit, we out.